Good morning, everybody. I'm Mrs. Njoko Ijoma, representing NAM.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Mrs. Abo Urudinachi. I'm a consultant with Federal Teaching Hospital and Department of Community Medicine. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Chris Otunye. I am in charge of procurement in NOFIC.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Charles Anna, and I'm the head of ICT unit, NOFIC.
All right, so we are all welcome. At this point, we are going to have our opening remarks from the coordinator of Health Professional Education Training Unit of NOFIC. Let's clap for her.
I welcome you all once more to this great and honorable occasion that is going on worldwide now. You are really welcome. As I said earlier on, my name is Agnes Ogro, the coordinator of Health Profession Education Unit here in NOFIC. Free treatment, training, rehabilitation, and prevention of fistula. Administratively, approval was, however, granted on the 16th January 2017 through the support of the medical director, Professor Sunday Adeoye. The unit has prepared and coordinated series of internal and external lectures, seminars. We have also collaborated with tertiary health professions, training institutions, and to provide opportunities for practical clinical training and experiences for medical and health science students. The slide is not showing you. We're able to see some of the things that we are able to do with the units. It so that we're able to see what we are able to achieve in a little time. Okay, before you come on board, the celebration of 2018 Universal Health Coverage Day at National Flash Center here in Abakaliki, Ebonyi State, Nigeria, bring joy and smile to me. Of the unit. However, the collaboration nursing profession in attainment of the universal coverage in Nigeria. I want to also use this opportunity to appreciate my mentor, my coach, Professor Nde. When I met him last in the Open University, I said, God, use mightily for me, for him to leave Abuja and come here. Sir, you are welcome. I want also to appreciate members of the high table here who gave you honor to come for this occasion. You are welcome. On behalf of my member teams of the Health of Education and Training Unit and the other members of National Flash Center staff who have contributed immensely in one way or the other for the success of the program, I welcome you all and ask
still here at Ebonyi State University. He called me for this particular unit. I call her yellow pepper, or what other name? There are many of them. But the first day I saw her, I said, she looks like if she is painted. Yes, and we talked, we walked. I was surprised when the CMD asked her to call me again for this particular issue. Actually, this has been about fourth time I plan to be at Ebonyi. For one reason or the other, I couldn't make it. One is that I love being here. I grew up here. I'm a little boy. I schooled at preschool. That's why I tell my students then that my secondary school turned out to be a university. But I want you to go higher than me, even if my secondary school turned out to give to you. I have only 15 minutes, and I'm going to use that my own distance. Next slide. Well, next slide. I want us to look at what universal health coverage is all about. For the students, they will give you the MS word. Are you hearing me? They will give you, when you are going, demand for MS word, because this one is just to talk to you. But I know the value to the students. Universal health coverage refers to health system refers to health system that provide both access to health services and financial protection, which include avoiding out-of-pocket payment that reduce the affordability of services, and ideally some compensation for productivity loss due to illness. What do we mean here? This is a healthcare system that don't be. I may have to think twice, but something may crop up now that demand 100,000 naira from my family because somebody is about dying, and I must put my hand into my pocket where I cannot get 10,000. What do you think I will do? I may decide. Look, everybody in this family may not die if we don't eat today, but let us save this person's life. Or we say, well, if he dies, that's how God wants it, because the money is not there and the person will die. That's why out-of-pocket expenses is very, very difficult to sponsor health. And then we are thinking of a place where somebody is sick, and there's an easy way of sponsoring that without the person having the palpitation of no money in my pocket. So that is why we say compensation of productivity loss. That is, you lose, the person is dead, or the person will not go to work, or all those things, a way to compensate it. This definition was given by Braka et al. In 2013. Next slide. Now, what are the characteristics of this healthcare system? This healthcare system aims at making all individuals to have access to health services. As I said, whether you have money, you don't have money, whether you're a politician, you're not a politician, whether you are the protein aspect of the family have been compromised, and in that case, that is the only way we can access health. If not, we cannot go to hospital. The next one is that people should not face financial hardship due to the cost of health. Yes, you just, how do I sponsor this? How do I pay for this? WHO put on this. It is expected to provide financial protection. That is how Why I mention this financial protection is for you to understand that paying for hospital bills, because when you see people who could not pay their hospital bill, you as a nurse, you cannot appreciate the problem there and achieve goal of universal health coverage. I decided to copy this action area because this is federal government action area. Look at it, the first one. Country leadership. The WHO said the leadership of the country should take a lead in health. Taking a lead also means providing enough money for this my black friend so that he can dish it out when we need it. Finance for health through domestic resource mobilization. You know what this one is amazing. Why do I say amazing? Take a man who is in one of the rural areas. Take your mind to any of the rural area in the country, whether north, east, west, south. Take your mind to a person there. Tell me how that person will go to mobilize resources for health. How achievable is it? We will see that in later. Health system resilience. That is a place, a health system where you come in, you look for drug. Where is that madam? She will provide us the drug. You needed the consultant, primary health physician, you have it. You needed consultant, nephrologist, you have it. You needed this thing. This is what, that is a health system that is resilience. That it is easy to teach community mobilization. That when you want to go to mobilize them, you will understand what I mean. Then multi-sectorial action. Of course, this is even a health system where we're supposed to act as one. You can see how much bastardized we are. Where everybody want to become of course today there are too many boards. Board for this, board for that, board for cleaners, board for this, board for that, board for that. And tell me how we will come together to fashion what we are doing. Everybody is a leader. Then humanitarian setting. How many of those people who have the money that are ready to invest on the health of others? That is the question. Then the last one is research and innovation, as well as accountability for results, resources, and rights. Are we ready? Is it possible? These are the action areas. Of course, when I look at action areas for universal health coverage in Nigeria, I laugh because it's not even actually addressing it. When you talk about money for health, difficult. Another, models of health insurance in Nigeria. Yes, let's look at what the federal government decided to be a way to solve the problem of health, and they decided to use this issue of insurance model. The first one is National Health Insurance Model. Here is founded by the government. One thing I know from childhood is that insurance business in Nigeria have been 419. Of course, they are the first 419 group. You insure your car, you have an accident. Wayo, you insure your house, you have fire outbreak. Wayo, you insure your health, you will die. Wayo for your family. And this is what you are now telling us. Of course, that was what made me in 2013 to go and find out from, because immediately I got the information, I said, let me see what civil servant know. And Enugu and the Abakaliki, only 15% Anambra State. You can't find it now. Then the last one is community-based health insurance, recommended for the informal sectors. That is, you now come to Kuri community. You have an insurance system where they will now come and insure. Now check the pocket of the people there. Do they actually have the money to do this? Let's move to the next slide. Universal health coverage achievement so far. Yes, we are talking of health. I decided to pick few indices to look at. The first one, Nigeria has about 180 million people with population growth of 3%. Calculate it out. If you calculate the number, you now see that the rate of growth. Does it mean that family planning is working? Is it working? Where Canada is opening their gates for people to come and populate their place. Here, something happened sometime. Because if you won't even understand what hunger means. I was in a hotel, in a restaurant. And I saw one of my friends just went to get water to drink, and the child rushed in and carried the plate of food, the remaining. I thought it's a joke. Of course, somebody told me, this wants you, if you want anything, call the attention of these people. And as we were going, we stopped somewhere and bought watermelon. The place I'm telling you that watermelon, a big head of watermelon is 100 naira, big one. And as they were peeling it, through the time she was doing her hand like this, more than 10 hands rushed, grabbed her hand. That's to show you the level of poverty. And then this is a country where the growth rate is 3% per year. Are we actually achieving it? Let's go to the other one. Urban rural population. Nigeria, the urban is 50.2, the rural is 49.8. That is to show you the distribution of our population. So we will know how we are going to cover that. Poverty rate 62.4%. That's what we are today. All these things are documented records from either WHO or other organizations. Then the other one, the country ranked 156 out of 173 countries on the Human Development Index. So you can see, bring the whole world line up. The first will go, the second will go, the 100 will go, the 150 will go. Before you now start looking for Nigeria, the 6th person that come after 150 will be Nigeria. And after that, you can see where we are. The other one is math of 180 million. So where are we? This is the index of universal health coverage in Nigeria. Next. Now let's look at primary health care rules of the nurse, because that's the issue. Maybe I'll tell you, I give it to you in summary. Nurses are not involved in primary health care. Why do I say that? In theater, nurses are there as theater nurses. In area of midwifery, maternity unit, nurses are there. Yes. In every other area, nurses are there. But when it comes to primary health care, nurses are not there. At a point, you can imagine the number of public health nurses we produce. And at the end of the day, they will now tell you that they are not needed there. They are not there. So it is my duty to tell you people that we have what it takes to provide Nigeria, or increase or better the condition of health in Nigeria, or improve the achievement. I, as a man who will not take midwifery exam, must have 150 deliveries. And what do I have to do? I have to go to a maternity, then Madakeke maternity at Ife. I go there in the evening and sleep there in the morning till morning. I come back with my record. The midwife there will sign it. I'll take it to my HOD, who will countersign. Another day I will go until they counted it 1, 2, 3 to 150 deliveries. These are trainings we nurses get in order to provide. The nurses provide direct care to population they serve, ensuring that all strategies involved in the reduction of mortality and morbidity are utilized. Remember what I told you to remember. The issue of palliative, promotive, preventive. Do you remember those 4 concepts? We are all trained to do that. And that's the only way we could prevent morbidity and mortality. So the training is there. The issue is being utilized. Next. Levels of prevention. When you come to primary health, we have primary prevention. Here nurses create awareness on causes, prevention and control of the physiotherapists come to limelight. That duty was completely being done by nursing. And I remember when we were at IFE, it is Department of Nursing and Medical Rehabilitation. And now that's to show you, and even in public health nursing, we have that area, we still have that area of rehabilitation. And there's no, in US, there are people who specialize in rehabilitation nursing, and that is their area of specialty. So you can see, in the 3 levels of prevention, nurses are well prepared, and our role is well pronounced. Next. Promoting access. Nurses' efforts are focused on providing programs and policies that promote population access to health. Nurses make themselves available for service anywhere, anytime. Of course, you are taught as a nurse not to discriminate. Am I right? So, you are, one of the things they brought, one of the blackmail, I call it blackmail, that made them to remove us from primary health, I call it blackmail, is that nurses decided not to live in the villages. Today, even those people who are manning those health centers, do they live there? But that's a blackmail. That's why I tell people it's a blackmail. You cannot go and blackmail this thing and everybody will buy it. It's a blackmail. Unfortunately, our nurse leaders then didn't see what was coming, because they were members of the boards. They were harnessing, eating. So they didn't say anything. At a point, it affected NAM. That NAM has to throw away public nursing. Others, if they live here and go to Boko, we will live here and go to Boko. If they are living at Boko, we go and live there. Isn't it? So this, I call it blackmail. And I feel that that blackmail should be removed and get us back, so that universal health coverage will reach the poor man in the village. Next. Cultural sensitivity. Yes, there's no way you can carry health to people without considering their culture. And there's, you know, for some of you should know that there's what we call cultural nursing. It is now an area of specialty. I always tell people, the people that make nursing, just of nursing most, turned out to be the people that have helped nursing more than any other. Who are they? Sociologists. Sociologists, medical nursing, they say they are handmaiden, they say they are no profession, they said everything. But finally, you must respect. And you allow them and you respect that. These are cultural sensitivity that made it possible for nurses to contribute to universal health coverage. We are trained, well trained. Say training the training nurses receive prepare them to be culturally sensitive in the environment where they practice. Culturally sensitive practice optimize outcome among high risk and vulnerable population, and nurses are trained, and we know that. Another, then elimination of disparity. Nursing training are structured, that's nursing training, are structured to reduce disparity in healthcare. Yes, we are trained to act in specialty area, we are trained to act in preventive area, we are trained to act as general practitioners. So in that case, once you have a nurse, the disparity is gone, because he or she will identify that this is the need of this person. Which, of course, in the ward we teach, in the maternity unit we teach, in the car we teach, in the home we teach, when we go for home visiting we teach. So education is a core function of the nurse. Forgive me for using the word public health. If I use it, don't, but it is the function of every nurse, whichever setting where you work. It is both tool for enhancing the skills and knowledge base for nurses, as well as mechanism for promoting and protecting health of the population. So health education is part of our duty. We teach on drug use, we teach on drug abuse, we teach on issues. If you have somebody with hypertension and the person is on lysis for a role again, then in conclusion, with what I have told you, you can see that Nigeria could have gotten a better health index if the primary role of the nurse is utilized. As I said, final note, the above potentials of nurses are not utilized in Nigeria for primary health care. And if that is done, universal health coverage will be easy to achieve. Thank you.
practitioners for health through domestic area in that area of action areas to achieve the goals of UHC.
Okay, so the final one.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Chukwu Menawiki, a senior national officer in NOFIC. My question, as according to Prof's lecture, he made mention of the public health. I want to know whether public nursing is one of the post-basic, because this is my questions. One of us who has the certificate want to go to promotion here. The chairperson conducting the promotion said that public health nurse is not one of the post-basic recognized by a nursing for promotion. I want to know whether that it is true or not.
Okay, let's see.
Basic. And I want to warn this generation. Your target should be your degree. Get your degree. If you decide to specialize in any other area, you can go. And that is why some of us, with all the salt we receive, decide to go to National Open University to see if we can raise the standard. There's no other reason. So that this issue of short knickers should be forgotten. Because this is a profession. When people were throwing out HND, we are still struggling. Even by last year, the National Discipline on Education said all the polytechnics should be scrapped off. And today, the announcement has been made that all of them completely, you can only get ND, no more HND. They are all moving. Instead of moving our schools of nursing that are good enough. I know Mata is good enough, better than most of the polytechnics in Nigeria. Should go straight. EN should go straight. Even FETA here should go straight. And we are there talking of HND. So my good friend, at this age, think of degree. Forget about short mail. We are now trying to, they are trying. There are a lot of things on the pipeline to encourage you. But tell me, if you say you don't want to be in the village, stay in town and don't work. Get a job to work in a village. Say you are not going. Stay in town. Eat the light. See this light. Eat it. Drink your water. But that have beaten the aim of your being a nurse. If most of our people will go to UK and work in their rural areas where they move with bicycle, until today they ride bicycle to go to meet their patients in their homes. And here, where there's no place you cannot go with a car, and you say you want to be in town and enjoy, stay in town and enjoy. But I would advise you, it's better you leave the country. But this generation should think of not, if you people get blackmailed as my generation was blackmailed, then you forget about it. Now the issue of choose taking up the primary health care, yes, that is what I was telling you. It is politics. It is politics. You have a sister in the house that couldn't pass JAMB, that couldn't enter into school of nursing. Then you create a school where he can now go with 3 credits and come out to end up, at the end of the day, he will get into health education, get the first grade health education. He can end up being level 16. And that is what the nurses are comparing themselves with. So as far as I'm concerned, nobody has taken our job. It's just again like the nurses in the world telling me that doctors have taken all our job. I say you don't even know what you are there for. Nobody can take nursing job. I want you to note, nursing was ordained by God. It is divinely ordained that nursing have to be there. and nobody's even making any effort to throw you away. But because of our exposure, as far as I'm concerned, I look at it as timidity. You don't want to claim what you have.
In our case in Nigeria, the National Health Insurance Scheme that was established in 2005, as at 2017 from studies, I discovered that only 3% has been achieved compared to other countries of the world. What is the way forward?
Simple. It is simple. You have water running in your house. You get it, isn't it? You drink it, isn't it? Government must dip their hand into the pocket and invest in health. Without that, the insurance, before I put on this, I have reviewed, of course, since 2013, I've been interested in insurance. Of course, that's the time I wrote my first paper on that. That was published in the International Journal. That's to show you that I'm following it. And my conclusion is that health insurance is 419. Whether we want it, we are this or not. When government want, they invest money. Are they not the people who put on the structure? When you get to this place, is this place not functioning? Good. It's the same way. If you set up a health center, standard health center, of course the first when they have comprehensive health centers and those things, that particular template is better than what we are doing now. If those comprehensive health centers were developed and put in there and government invests, and then maintenance can be insurance maintained, but not using insurance to set up. You are using insurance to set up what is not in existence. So health insurance, as far as I'm concerned, now are you? Thank you.
Alright, so Prof, we thank you. We appreciate you all the way from Abuja to give us this keynote address. In fact, World of Abakaliki, who unfortunately has a meeting with the Commissioner for Health in Enugu State, so he couldn't be here with us at this point. So I want to hand over to Dr. Bo to introduce Dr. Ebonyi and chair the section.
Thank you. Good morning, all. Good morning, Prof. Permit me to stand on all existing protocols. We're going to have the next section. Of course, we all enjoyed the last one, right? Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you once again. So we're going to call on the next speaker, who's going to take us on the plenary session on health professionalism, accountability, and universal health coverage. He is Dr. K. Ekwedigwe. He is a senior consultant gynecologist, senior consultant fistula surgeon, consultant urogynecologist, consultant urodynamist, consultant endoscopic surgeon, one person. And he works with this fistula center with Abakaliki as, of course, an OBGYN or urogynecologist. And he's also
good day, everybody. I think I'm already having a hydrocephaly. Okay, I didn't know the thing. I think I was deceived. I didn't know they would give a citation, a mini citation. I was thinking I'm writing something private. Okay, but be that as it may, you are all welcome for today's program. I'm going to, while they are doing the projection, I'm going to give us and principal officers of the hospital. Now, universal health coverage is what we are celebrating today. And what is it all about? It means that it should be health for all. It's like an umbrella covering everybody. Okay, whether you are rich, whether you are a middle class, whether you are poor, whether you are impoverished. You know that after poverty you have another level, which we call impoverishment. So whether you are impoverished, that is a picture of what we want for everybody, irrespective of your health condition. That is what universal health coverage is all about. And you can't talk of universal health coverage without insurance. The bedrock of universal health coverage is what? Insurance. If I have only 10 naira, you have 10 naira, and maybe we're up to 2 million, and we put the 10 naira together. Maybe at the end of the day, we now have 20 million naira. I'm now worth 20 million naira. I'm no longer 10 naira worth man. I'm now a 20 million naira worth man. You are a 20 million naira worth man, and that is your value. And when you are walking into a health system, they see you based on that value, that 20 million naira that you are worth. That is what insurance is all about. So you pull resources from everybody, and when you now pull the resources, everybody now represents that grant resource that you have. And with that, you can access anything you want. So, but the issue is, next slide. Go. Move. Okay. Move to next slide. Okay, so the issue on how to achieve this, you can't do that without government. That's why when I see people talk about universal health coverage, I see it as the normal rhetorics in Nigeria. People are not yet serious. People are not committed. Just like Prof said, you can't talk about universal health coverage without serious, committed government involvement. In the absence of government involvement, and in Nigeria, what are we talking about? We have less than 5% of our budget dedicated to health, and we are talking universal health coverage. We are just deceiving ourselves. It's not a reality in the country for now, and that's why the indices kept showing it. In countries where you have this health insurance operational, like UK, where they have achieved close to 98% health coverage, that means 98% of the population can readily walk in and get treated, irrespective of the ailment. So their out-of-pocket expenditure is about less than 3%. That's where these concepts will come in, which I will take time to explain. We're talking of out-of-pocket expenditure. You're not meant to bring out money from your pocket to spend on health. And once you are bringing out money from your pocket, it is called out-of-pocket expenditure. And it shouldn't be encouraged. And when you are doing that, that means you have not achieved universal health coverage. So UK is about 3%, meaning that if the only is 3%, that means about 97%, or there are about 97, 98, are now universally health covered. In countries like Rwanda, which is a committed, dedicated country, they have achieved close to 70 to 80% of universal health coverage. That's why the whole world is interested in whatever Rwanda is doing today. Mauritania is another country. So they have done that. So they are trying to, the country every year, make sure that up to 15% of the national budget is ascribed to health, dedicated to health. And that's why they are moving for adequate health. Okay, so there are so many rights where they mention and prescribe. right to security of life, right to medical care, and so many other rights. Then, of course, it failed. But that was when so many other countries, developed countries, now took it as a serious issue. And that's why they are where they are today. Then in 1977, of course, Health for All by the year 2000, it was a slogan for those ones that were there. You hear Health for All for 2000, Health for All by 2000. 2000 was looking as if it will never come. Okay, and so many things that happened with that year 2000. People, there was even an issue of the world coming to an end for some of you that could recall what happened in 2000. Okay, night before the 2000, the crossover night, it was a very serious issue on earth. Okay, so 2000 has come and gone. Of course, the World Health Assembly met, okay, and now decided to target health for all by the 2000 for governments and WHO. That was what they did. So it was a world issue. It was World Health Assembly, which equally brought up the concept of universal health coverage in 2005, as one of the persons that asked question asked. So in 2012, United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution calling for everybody to toe the path of universal health care. In 2014, we had Presidential Summit on Universal Health Care in Nigeria. Then 2016, universal health care now became prominent, which is what is happening today, because our Millennium Development Goal failed. It failed woefully. Nigeria is a locus classicus, is a goal, that goal 3. We have about 9 targets. You know, when you set goal, you now set targets on how to achieve your goals. Even when you are on a personal basis, if you want to be a good planner, you must set goal and you must have targets and timeline for whatever you did or you're doing. So, goal 8, target 8 of this goal 3 is what we are talking about. That is universal health coverage. That is how that will give a rebate to the topic of today. So it's under Sustainable Development Goal 3, Target 8. Okay, but again, universal health coverage, of course, if it's implemented, is believed to take care of every other goal. A target in goal 3. There are about 9 of them. It's meant to take care of them, as well as take care of other goals like goal 4, goal 1, which is no poverty. Okay, if you remember your MDD and your SDG, they are very closely related. But the other one, they will now be talking of percentage of reduction in poverty. Now they are talking of no poverty, no hunger. I think that's goal 2 and all that. So it has a correlation to goal 1, goal 4, which is quality education, goal 6, clean water and sanitation, and goal 10, which is reduced inequality. Let's go. I think the essence of that is to give background so that I can now go into what I have to discuss today, but all of them will equally be brief. Now, move. Now, for you to stop here. Talk of universal health coverage. There are 3 dimensions that you have to discuss universal coverage on, and that is height of coverage, the depth of coverage, and the breadth of coverage. There are some diagrams when you look at the books. You see a box where they drew all this, an arrow up, an arrow to use a rectangle to show the height, the breadth, and the depth. So the height talks about how much of the cost should be covered. Okay, you want to cover something. What cost are you going to incur in the process? Okay, but the essence is to have high level of prepayment for everybody. When we look at the indices, we see the targets too set by the world for that goal. So the essence is to have prepayment for everybody. Okay, when you come in, you walk in and get treated and you move out. Then the depth, which service should be covered. So the services to be covered, and that has to do with the packaging. Okay, the benefit package. Even in insurance, we will still discuss that. So there are exclusion criteria, there are inclusion criteria. This is an area that is causing trouble all over the world, especially in Nigeria. You walk into a hospital, you have insurance program, you have insurance cover. They will tell you that they can't cover this. I want to have hysterectomy done. They will tell you it's not in our package. Okay, it's not in our package. You can't. catastrophic. And if it's catastrophic, that means it's very bad, it's dangerous, it's poverty. You're actually running a poverty curve. So that is what catastrophic health expenditure means. So it's good we know that. Next one, so that I can hurry up. So this is where we are. The out-of-pocket expenditure in Nigeria is over 60%. Of course, less than 5% are not having prepayment cover. Less than 2% of the population don't have a safety net program, and meanwhile the benchmark is 100%. Then of importance is that 70% of the total disease burden in Nigeria is at the primary health level. However, federal government allocates over 80% of the resources to the tertiary centers. So there is inequity. There's inequity and it cannot work. So every money goes to the federal teaching hospitals. Meanwhile, the people that need the money are the primary health center. That's why that National Health Act was actually to correct the anomaly. We have most money are now going to the primary health center. Next slide, let me first. So now professionalism, where we come in. One thing I want us to know is that for us to achieve universal health coverage, there has to be a serious paradigm shift from what we used to do, vertical approach, top-down approach, creative approach, and so many things, to a central approach where the workforce, we the health people, personnel are at the center of whatever that is happening. And not just being at the center, we have to be the backbone to pilot and make policies, heading works. When you have technocrats that actually they have been trained all their life, they have been living, they have been dreaming, they have been eating that particular profession, and you now bring someone from nowhere and you now start learning and unlearning. So it doesn't make sense, and that's what happened in the health sector. People that make policies for us are not even near the four walls of health schools, and they make policies from me and you. And that's why we have to be the one that should drive and that will drive this universal health coverage if we are going to make anything out of it. Of course, the complexity of health issues today, today's globalized world, is a big challenge. Okay, and again, it calls for a collaborative approach. Everybody in the health sector, we need to see ourselves as one indivisible body. If we keep the notorious strikes, today incessant strikes, callous strikes, I don't think we are going to make any headway. Supremacy order. Doctor is the person to be. The nurse says he is the one to be recognized. The lab scientist, everybody is claiming supremacy. It's not going to work. Things will not work. We just be running around a circle, and of course we never put the right pen, the right hole. So we keep doing the wrong thing. So that's why professionalism comes in. Next slide. So, and these are the roles we have to play for things to work. Political leadership, we have to assume positions of leadership, especially as it pertains to health. Ministry of Health and every other area that pertains to health must be headed by someone that is knowledgeable in health. Okay, and that's what we call technocracy. Or then the technical leadership, we have to be there to give technical advice in policy making. You have to make plans, strategic plans, 5-year, 10-year plan, 20-year plan, and we stick to those plans and things will work. Then we need to create an essential health package. We must have a package, like in essential obstetric care. When you go there is a package. Okay, you must create a monitoring and evaluation team. If things are not monitored, of course, the plan may not really stay for so long a time. Then, of course, there should be a research and operational research. People should be working to improve the lots of what they met. There should be a lot of money dedicated to research. Next slide, please. Now, for accountability, I'm going to look at the health system attributes, which there are 5 in number: quality, efficiency, equity, accountability, and sustainability. So quality is all about regulation and having the breakthrough agencies to make sure that the standards are maintained at all costs. then there should be engagement by everybody and there should be effective response. So when someone comes to the hospital, there should be effectiveness. The admission intervention interval should be less than 5 minutes. That's the standard practice anywhere in the world. If you are entering the hospital, within 5 minutes you should be attended to. But again, if you look at our hospitals, we are far from it. I think there was one minister that tried everything to keep it. That was Grant, Professor Grant. But again, she didn't stay so long. Okay, efficiency, you talk about system designs, okay, incentives. When people work, you encourage them. If without incentives, you won't get so much from people. Incentives works like magic. Okay, when people are due for something, make sure they get it, and even more. When you recognize stars that are doing so well, give them double promotions. There's nothing wrong with that. It will motivate other ones and reduce redundancy. And that's the only way to get efficiency. Then of course APT is all about what we are discussing, universal health coverage, health insurance. That's all about APT. Of course APT is a big topic on this one. If you go to the realm, vertical APT, horizontal APT and all that. But the essence of APT is for everybody to be seen as equal. APT does not necessarily mean equality, but with APT there is some realm of equality. Okay, depending on the way you are looking at it. Then accountability, of course, government should be preparedness. So let's go. So these are my recommendations. My recommendations are, I think there is important. You give me a minute so that I can run through it. It's just 2 slides remaining. The first recommendation, there should be greater political commitment to the goal in 2009 and beyond. We are in a political year. We are entering political year, and that's why I have to make this recommendation. NMA Johesu should make universal health coverage a rallying cry over the next 6 months and beyond, rather than the notorious health rivalry that have plagued the health sector. Professionals in the health sector should be united in their demands that political parties for 2019 elections should show unquestionable commitment to putting universal health coverage high in their manifestos. Health professionals should form an alliance with well-meaning civil society organizations and individual activists to educate the populace on how universal health coverage affects their lives. So the population should know how it affects their lives. The Nigerians should avoid trading off the benefit of universal health coverage for monetary inducements to vote for parties. Professionals to form an alliance with media to drum into the ears of the leaders of political parties that campaign should be based on premium to universal health coverage and what they will do between 2019 and 2022 to attain universal health coverage of at least 50%. So that is where we should be, what we should be discussing with political parties as they come campaigning. The public should pay attention on the manifestos of presidential and gubernatorial aspirants on how each party stands on their promises on universal health coverage issues. So these are my recommendations. Next slide. So in conclusion, it is an undeniable fact that in the last 58 years of Nigerian history that the health sector, like other sectors of the country,
that was a very interesting topic. Do we have any questions for him? So we can take like 3 questions from the students and then maybe 1 from our teachers. Anyone who's interested in maybe a question or comment? You want to ask a question? Okay. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I'm Opraji Teresa from Basic School of Midwifery, FETA. Please, my question is in the issue of this insurance health scheme. I just want to understand why, because I'm not clear in that one, why if you come to the hospital, people that are in this national health insurance, they do cover some areas, while some areas are left behind. Like you gave an example of someone that have malaria now. So they will now cover such area. But people that have major cases, they don't cover those areas. I want to know the reason. Thank you.
Thank you. Who else has a question? Or a comment? Or a suggestion how we can do it right?
Yearly, and every year you pay your money in order to make that health insurance working. But when somebody is not really getting the services that he or she wants, how are they going to maintain the community health-based insurance? That's my question.
Thank you. Any other question because of time? Okay, thank you. I think I'll hand over to you so you could take the questions.
Okay, just as I told you, the functions of health finance, it was stipulated. They had to generate fund, they have to pull fund, there is purchasing, and of course there is benefits package. So that's the scam that Prof was talking about. Ideally, the coverage should be 100% or near 100%. Okay, but again, when these HMOs now purchase the franchise, okay, they will now make their own laws. And again, the higher body, which is the NHIS, which is meant to monitor what they do, they kind of put up a deaf ear as if they don't know what is happening. So insurance actually should be a complete thing. It should be comprehensive. Not when you now come in, because they won't tell you all these things before you come in. It's like even when you go do the normal insurance for other properties, they won't tell you. Their interest, they will just tell you, promote the thing, make it look so laudable. But when you now come in, you now see so many other things. Okay, they will not tell you that this package is in, this package is not there, this drug is there, this drug is not there, that their franchise they couldn't, they are not allowed to do this, that. Then where are the regulatory bodies? And again, you can't even, when you want to report, where are you going, who are you going to report to? So that is the funny thing in the system. In so many other countries, it is a complete package to implement. In that one, the way you run your cooperative society is the way that one runs. It's very simple. I'm sure most cooperative societies have outlived the predictions people made on them. Okay? The way cooperative is, that is one oil company. The people don't know. If you have like someone like Feta, if you are head of that place and you choose to be dubious, you will be a multi-billionaire. Because people pull the money. When you see the money, when you hear the money, you will be contributing 10,000, another person 5,000, another person 30,000. Your only interest is that you have money. But if you look at the sum, the pool, you will run. It's in millions. That's why sometimes when hospitals run into trouble, they rely on the cooperative societies for help. It happened in area special teaching hospital. That was almost 6 months ago. Someone didn't pay them their money. The moment, I think, he froze the account of the hospital. But the cooperative fund was able to pay everybody's money. Okay, most of the welfare packages and salaries, we are paid through cooperative society. So it's a lot of money when a lot of people come together to form community-based health insurance scheme. Of course, you will have your rules. You have your rule books, you have your regulations that guide you, you have your leadership, you choose your leader. So you do so many things to regulate it. And with that, of course, most times with careful monitoring, things work. So it works. Even in Nigeria, there are some community-based health insurance schemes in some places in Nigeria. But in India, there are people that started it and it's so advanced that they don't even need their government scheme. They don't need their national and state insurance schemes anymore. So if you are sick, you go in. When you treat you, the community pool money, pay the insurance, pay the hospital, and you're okay. So that's how it. So the way the national one works is the way every other one works. So faith-based is an example of a community-based health insurance scheme too.
It's not just the nurses, even the doctors, the health sector as a whole. And it's you and me. Because when you think of it, health is in the purview of all. You can come to the hospital to assess this and you will not see it. Even though we are still talking of those in the village, it still pertains to us. So I think the more aware we are, the more we use our social media to talk about this, to create the awareness ourselves, the more we are saying, okay, maybe we are putting a step towards the right direction. Come to think of it, when we start saying the president, we don't know where he is, we don't know if he's sick or not, there's no Surgeon General to tell us what is happening to our president health-wise. So everything about health has been sidelined. But it's also on us to bring up advocacy towards this, to look for the next generation. We can start it. When I look at you, I don't look at you just as students. I look at you as people that are going somewhere, that have a future ahead of them. And the more we are doing this, it's just to create the awareness. And then we have little ways that we can make impact. They said little drops of water form a pool. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ekwedigwe and Dr. Abo. So your tea is for you to take it. So don't mind whether they are taking a picture of you as you're eating. So we want at this point to ask the CMAC to make his welcome remarks. Thank you.
Talking about universal health coverage, and when we say universal health coverage, it's talking about you and I. It simply means you and I can access quality health care without paying out of pockets. That means at any point in time, if anybody should fall sick, regardless of the amount of cash in your pocket, you can access quality health care. And when you categorize countries based on Human Development Index, you talk about health, education, and per capita income. That means people have realized that health actually is wealth, as the saying goes. So this is a very good opportunity for us to look at the subject of universal health coverage. It means that you do not necessarily have to bear the costs or the direct costs of health care, because there are also indirect costs. When a man or a woman is admitted for surgery in a hospital, the man may have to run up and down, pays for transport, for feeding. Those are indirect costs, apart from the direct cost of medical care. So that means the direct cost is taken care of. And until we can achieve this, we are still nowhere when it comes to health care. And I pray we'll get it right. Also, universal health coverage is talking about access to health. And if we talk about access to health, this is the forum where we should talk about it. Access to health means when somebody is sick, he can find a place to get attention. That means the person can go to a hospital or a primary health care and find care. That is the access. The person may get there and find the care, but will not be able to afford it. So if you find the care and you cannot, that means you may not have to bring money from your pocket to access this care. And then it's good that we have a good audience today, because you and I are the ones to drive the process of attaining universal health coverage. If you ask somebody here now, do you want to work in the village? The person will tell you, capital no. If you put somebody to the village now to see patients or to attend to people, they will go and redeploy and come back to the city. As long as that practice continues, we cannot talk about universal health coverage, because as we have heard from the previous speaker, the majority of the citizens, they reside in the rural areas. So if we bring health care only to the state capital and those people don't have access, there is no universal health coverage. Universal means it must be available to everyone. So when a child has measles or a child is stealing, and you package that child and go to FETA, there is no universal health coverage. When a man has headache or malaria and a man has to go to FETA for health care, there is no universal health coverage. When the child has pneumonia or is convulsing and you are rushing to the state capital, there is no universal health coverage. So there must be access even at the community level. That means that the requisite manpower must be in rural areas, just like in urban areas. So universal means everybody must be carried along. Nobody must be left out. There is a lot of inequality in healthcare as we speak now. There is a pregnant woman, for instance, is a vulnerable person. And that person, even in the remotest village, should have access to antenatal care. So if these things we are talking about are not available, there is no universal health coverage. And it's going to start with you and I. This is a starting point. So 12th December has been assigned as a day to talk about universal health coverage. This is to drive our consciousness to begin to think the way the other part of the world have already gone. You talk about Norway or Sweden, Switzerland, they have already achieved all these things we are talking about. So we should begin to talk about universal health coverage. That means somebody can access care and the care is of good quality. The person is not paying directly out of pocket and that care is acceptable and satisfactory. So I want to urge you all to listen attentively, ask questions and make contributions. As a nurse, as a doctor, as a lab scientist, as a physiotherapist, we are all stakeholders. As a religious leader, you are a stakeholder. As a traditional ruler or a community head, you are a stakeholder. As a common man on the streets, you are a stakeholder. The vulcanizer on the street is a stakeholder. The carpenter is a stakeholder. The woman selling fish in the market is a stakeholder. It is something that we have to begin to start talking about so that every person, everybody, all the citizens of this country can access quality health without paying out of pocket, because sometimes the cash is not there. So I want to thank again the organizers of this program, ABDI, for putting up this, for attending this program. And then I'm sure at the end of this program, your views will have changed. Your thinking will have changed. You have a better understanding of universal health coverage. So that next time, when you find yourself in positions to make policies, you can make the correct policies. Or if they post you out to go and work in those places, you know that you are going there to save lives. And then you can also contribute your quota to attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals. So thank you very much for coming. I wish you a very good time in this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Excellent remarks from the CMAC of NOFIC. The purpose why we're here, just like he said, so that anytime we're in a forum where they're discussing universal health coverage, you will not sound as if you don't know what we are saying. So we want to appreciate Prof for being with us all the way from Abuja. We appreciate his presence at this meeting. And we wish him safe journey as he goes back. So Prof, thank you so much for coming. So thank you, sir, for coming. All right, thank you. All right, so we're going to continue with our sections. At this point, I want to ask the representative of the state, NAM. NAM is, if she's the secretary of NAM in the state. So we want her to make a comment.
Good day once again. Permit me to stand on existing protocol. Concerning the universal health coverage and the stand of NAM in nurses' role in the universal coverage. Nurses are the backbone of primary health care. Every government who wants to deliver a universal health coverage to his citizens must employ adequate number of nurses in the primary facilities. Taking for instance, in this case for instance, We have about more than 400 health facilities, primary health facility, only covered by less than 60 nurses. Against the average of WHO prescription, which says that nursing patient rule 1:5, and we are having only less than, we have about 55 nurses in covering 473 primary health facility in Ebonyi State. The last recruitment in Ebonyi State, nurses recruitment in Ebonyi State was 2007, and people have been retiring. And the government is not thinking about replacing those people. We have only 13 local governments, and a very sound health delivery is provided to every Nigerian citizen. This issue of that nurses are not ready to go to the rural area, it is the height of falsehood. Please let me correct our student there that said a greener pasture. If your main aim of studying nursing is just to get your greener pasture, it's wrong. The joy in the job satisfaction is there. If you go to the rural areas, there is a lot of things happening there, which can even provide that greener pasture for you. The Nigerian Nurses and the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, we are not relenting to issue of unemployed nurses. They are saying we are not talking about global issue on TSTS, that is task sharing and task shifting, and they are claiming there is shortage of nurses. It's typically lie. If our government is telling us the truth, and if they are sincere to the citizens, they know the truth, and only they are using it to play politics. And we are not folding our hands. We continue to fight the battle. We continue to bargain with them so that they will see the truth and then do it. Because we have been going for advocacy to the state government. He's busy constructing new structures all over the state. But there is no manpower. You can't believe that in a general hospital, a nurse is running 48-hour duty shift, which is so bad. And we are talking about universal health coverage. In a general hospital, you only see one nurse on duty. 48 hours to do what? Attend to our patients. But the reverse is the case. I appreciate the organizers of this program, and we are still promising people that we are to collaborate with you to work with on existing strategies to ensure that there is total universal health coverage for the citizen. Thank you, and God bless you.
PRO, where is she? She has the next assignment. Please come.
We use our hands to demonstrate the you. So we'll go this way. So the next one we are spelling is H.